Let's also invite to the conversation Middle East expert Avi Melamed. Avi, again, I'm going to ask you about this latest update. We have that Hamas's armed wing, the Qassam Brigade, has warned that they will execute an Israeli civilian that they currently have hostage for every bombing carried out on Gaza that there has not been pre-warning for. What does that say to you about the way this is going to continue?
Well, we saw in Saturday what's the face of Hamas. We are looking at a brutal militant Islam organization. By the way, Hamas is massively armed. We are looking at a military power of some 35,000 militants of Hamas. They are massively armed and equipped with the best weapon that Iran offers, and Iran offers them generously weapon and support. Hamas has rockets and missiles and assault drones and cyber capacities and many other capacities provided to them by Iran. So I think it's important to understand what's the military capacities of Hamas. This is not a small gang group or a bunch of people running around with pistols. Hamas is a militant Islam organization that vows to eliminate the state of Israel. We saw that Hamas on Saturday is not much different from ISIS. In that regards, when you are looking at an organization that is cold-blooded, butchering hundreds of young people dancing out in the woods, you can understand that it will be not surprised if Hamas will execute hostages. This is not going to stop the Israeli operation. This is not going to stop the Israeli determination to change the ground rules in Gaza Strip. That's the reality.
Thank you for laying out that context. You mentioned ISIS there, and our viewers will be seeing reports currently on the bottom of the screen as you were talking there. There have been reports of Hamas beheading captured Israeli soldiers. We'll bring you more detail as we get that. In terms of the geopolitical context around that, the funding from Iran, the backing from Iran, allegations of that, there have been denials throughout the day, but obviously that is something that has been proposed for some time. In terms of how this was allowed to happen, though, that is one of the key elements here that many in Israel have been asking. The government of Benjamin Netanyahu, so focused on judicial reform, and an attack on this scale happening, what seemed to be out of the blue. We know it's not out of the blue because it is Israel. But what will this mean for Netanyahu's government and the way it has handled this?
Well, that's an excellent question. First, as of the whole issue of the surprise, it's totally surprised, totally shocked. Definitely there has been a colossal failure of the Israeli intelligence and operational system, which also is amazing for itself, given to the fact that the Israeli intelligence and operational systems have been performing outstandingly, sometimes even to the point of jaw-dropping performances. So obviously there are right now at this point, there are more questions, of course, than answers to that question, how and why did it happen? As for the ramification on Netanyahu's government, right now the people of Israel are united around the army of Israel and are united around the determination of Israel to change the ground rule in Gaza Strip to counter this brutal enemy. But obviously there are lots of criticism and anger within Israeli public opinion, definitely holding Netanyahu's government responsible for this terrible development that we just see, this massacre that happened on Saturday in Israel. But for the time being right now, it's a time of war. Israel is now at a war with a brutal enemy, with the possibility that that war would extend to another arena, the Hezbollah in Lebanon, yet another member of the Iranian-backed murderous coalition of militants like Hamas, Islamic Jihad, and others. We have to follow that right now as we are engaged in war. There will be time for many other things to be exposed and discussed, but not for now.